We haven't seen Vietnam hit the rift yet, but we will now as we jump onto it. Gen.G versus Vietnam. Gen.G licking their wounds after their loss to C9, seeing whether they can find their first W of the day. Can they, Wolf? Will they find it?
I think there's a decent chance, but I want to see how this early game goes because it was so...
To go home now. Does have teleport, but it is a turtle port, so he's going to miss out on a bit of the CS as Keen gets this wave shoved forward. And I don't even think he'll need to as Canyon makes his way down towards that bottom side. Looking to get into position as Puddin. Not going to get snared up. The door doing so much work as the fadeaway jump shot. So that enchanted crystal arrow could be employed. Shawnee moving towards Lloyd, but he just gets the phase rush and rushes his way out. Phase rush not quite as powerful as it used to be, as the slow resistance is lowered, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I will say, oh, bit of a fight here.
Yeah, all out is going to be employed here by Kratos, as Keen just trying to walk his way out, but more battles here towards the middle of the river as well. As Keen, is he going to get dove actually is the question. He does get taken down and Canyon falls as well. Vietnam finding some angles and Duro is going to be falling as well. In goes Guri, takes out the Leona, and that is feats of warfare in the blink of an eye.
I mean, Kratos gets the solo kill on Keen as he's trying to pressure him to get the grubs, as Lloyd may be in trouble as well.
Yeah, does manage to get the Void Prison.
Is going for a wraparound here. Kratos does have ult, but no flash, and he's getting burned down.
Yeah.
Can he get away?
Gank angle is pretty good here as he dodges out of the way of the equalizer as Canyon just holding on to that stun. Will be able to find it. The all-out comes in, but doesn't get him to the right position. Some shenanigans there with the Cassante, but unfortunately it is not going to be enough. So Gen.G able to get their second kill, but it could just be feats of strength going over to Vietnam as a result.
I think you're right. I think that will happen. And I think this is worth as here comes the arrow.
Arrow going to connect. Double knockups as well out of that Brawl multi is beautiful here. As the Solar Flare comes on through, the door is going to wear off as Gen.G keeping themselves alive for now, but there is
Guri's still
dragon.
here, and Shawnee's here.
Oh, God, this could be so much. Between Worlds comes on through as Horosari just trying to do what he can. It almost works out as he flashes, but that is going to be a Winter's Bite to kill him. Lloyd trying to get the work done, does manage to get the Brawn, but he's going to die as a result. And Guri is just even bigger after that. All over Summoner's Rift.
Guri has just non-stop been attached to any lane that's a pressure point.
Oh! Arrow going to connect. The cleanse does need to be used from Harusari, and he's not out of the woods just yet. Shawnee's able to lock down that kill. The whole bottom lane, it's pretty good.
That's a good point.
There's also a Cassante who has now just joined this fight, dived into the middle as the equalizer in a great spot as well. Shuilong is going to go down very, very low, but Keen is just dead. The all-out from Kratos is aggressive, but maybe it's going to pay off. As decent damage there from Shawnee as Guri finds the double as Harusari trying to stay alive, but he goes between the worlds and into the death chamber. Canyon now going to follow suit as well, as it's a great knockback there from Kratos, and Vietnam find themselves an ace here at 17.5 minutes, to be perfectly honest.
Certainly a team that's been scrimming together, right, and has really practiced these types of compositions. They were given the Aatrox, and Guri right now is probably my leading player of the match, I think, or player of the game. Shawnee's been having a fantastic game as well, but Guri's just always been where he needs to be, and he's here again.
Canyon just walks into it. Unfortunately, the redemption not going to keep him alive, and Guri is going to be able to take down his opposite number. Full LCK rosters against some of these other teams, because I want to see whether it's actually an indication of a gap closing, right? Like, this Vietnam squad, I did not have a lot of hope for moving into this tournament, but they're looking good. Like, outside of the fact that Gen.G aren't quite winning, as we do see another fight. Solar Flare is pretty good as the Braum will be taken down. A trader support so far as the equalizer, largely forgotten, and it's a double kill for Guri as Canyon takes a nap one more time. Gen.G
just finds himself caught again.
Speaking of being caught, Duru is
not a
dead.
replay. Yep.
It is not. Puddin is going to be able to grab a third kill of the game. 13 out of 17 is pretty decent. And you're still this far ahead and doing the amount of damage he's doing. Like, he's such an incredible threat. Maybe this late game could get him a vote towards that player of the game. But now another team fight is going to break out as Lloyd is just dead before anything really even starts. Duro trying to keep himself alive. Supreme display of talent is not displaying that at all. And the woes of Canyon's Kiana continue as they take down the Leona, and Gen.G left with only Keen and Canyon surviving, and maybe not for too much longer. And there it is, another kill to come on forward as Canyon trying to do some funny business to try and get himself away, and it's not going to work. Guri going to be able to take him down, and that is another ace, as Harusari, I think, did respawn.
Since I joined this team, like, I'm always ahead. Like, I'm always like 5,000 gold ahead at the midway point. And now I'm 7 deaths on this Leona, which was a somewhat questionable pick in the draft in its own right, even though it's good with Ezreal. They're just getting completely destroyed in this second game.
Yeah, and it's the coordination once again, like you were talking about. Infernal Chains is going to lock him up one more time. Make that an 8 as Pudden is going to get another kill for himself. The rest of Gen.G, not a lot of options here. As Guri is, even though he's on not a lot of health, he can build that health bar back up immediately, getting a whole lot of value out of this soul as well as a supreme display of talent comes through. And Shawnee says, yeah, looked cool, mate, and just kills him. No options for Gen.G at all. That is going to be the turret going down. Great little setup here from Kratos, but not quite able to take down Canyon, as they do look to try and get some damage in here. Harusari does get out of the way of this between worlds, as Lloyd has to flash to escape, and it is more and more knockbacks. Harusari, another ability to escape, but unfortunately, the rest of the team not quite so lucky, and finally, the Ezreal will be taken down. Lloyd and Canyon, the only ones left standing, but I don't think their Nexus is going to be, and Lloyd was also just kind of farming a top lane of minions to try and avoid those ones coming in and aiding the destruction of their Nexus in this absolutely adorable train set that is going to be derailed completely as Gen.G goes 0-2 on the day.
Vietnam winning their first match of KeSPA Cup 2025 in dominant fashion, showcasing all the work they've been putting in. And if you look at the damage that Harusari put out, like, it was a respectable performance considering the game state, but